gonna an evil and go for the crown. Yo, pour that Guinness and spark the J. Time for DJing. I was the rake trays. Yo, just that time again. Yo, it's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the J. Come with rate, let him show you the way. DJ hours or buy the book. Nowhere to hide, come take a look. Rake trades, the bake trades, it all gets done while the man chills out under the Puerto Rican sun. Chat cooling out for one last trade. When the DJ now a sign flashes his sun away. Load up the Evo, contracts times 10. Look for that failure, trigger and do it again. Break out of the range and keep on with the trend. We're here doing DJ hours with all of our friends. Every day if we're green or red. Sometimes you just got a hood rap DJ and shit with your friends. Pour that Guinness or spark the J. We're gonna DJ with the sign on either way. Every day he got bored down. We're gonna an evil and go for the crown.
What up, everybody? What's up, Miller? Thank you for being here. Can you hear me okay? Check, mic check, test, blah, blah, blah. So make sure I got my shit ready here. All right, what's up, Cole? What's up, guys? Probably started a little early, but we are all good.
It's that time again. Better flip the switch. Everybody scratching at the extra trade itch. Pour the Guinness, grind the tree. Always on live for all to see. Split the G and light the
We are just grinding, going nowhere. Fun stuff. Not sure if you guys saw the pre-market plan or not. If so, this was kind of honestly my base case, but here we sit in this middle range. Essentially, this is kind of the intraday positioning, but I think if you go back and look at the pre-market positioning, I don't think we're going to be like super out of whack necessarily. Make sure I can still see you guys here. All right. I jumped the gun slightly. But we are just watching this thing drift to nowhere. Got our little opening print we'll draw there. Again, this is just kind of the ranges that I had. Oh shit. Still had my work headset on. Woo! What's up, Hellboy? Thank you for joining, guys. I'll give it a minute here. There are so few viewers. I don't want to get too into the weeds and then have people join and go, what about this? What about that? But as you guys can see, we've got kind of a persistent, steady grind of volatility, which is kind of what you need to see to work in to the kind of positive gamma floor that we have below us. So this is the pre-market positioning. So I had upper range, middle range, lower range. And as I stated, if we're going to get in here, at least early, we'll do our little post-London line, I guess, which we are just on the other side of. And we'll look at now kind of where this intraday positioning is pointing. This range here, we can still get stuck But we kind of need to get under here sooner than later to get that kind of selling pressure and drift down. The risk here is if we kind of hold in this range, I don't know if you guys can even see my mouse. If we hold in this range here, there's going to be the potential to kind of get this drift back in towards the opening print. So that is kind of what I'm looking for, is if, yes, we've got some persistent vol and we're kind of grinding down here, but the risk into the afternoon is not getting under here. And I'm sure you guys are all going to know exactly what I'm going to draw next. Right? If you're not over it, or sorry, if you're not under it, you're over it. And there's just kind of this compelling back to this like main balance area that we were kind of rejecting early, but there is the potential for just drifting back into that. You'll also notice we're kind of coming down to the bottom of the expected move from the opening print as well. So the day's range that was priced in at the start of the day is kind of coming to the fore here. We're not really getting any aggressive selling lower. We're just kind of grinding and drifting and selling down. So we could 100% continue that, obviously, because we do have persistent volatility. It is not reducing, it's not dropping down. We're getting this persistent vol, persistent selling, but it's really going to need to continue strongly to get us into more of this framework here. And right now, even with the persistent selling, we're just not really getting it. Sorry, Cole, just let me see your question here. I have a question. We're consolidating near a support. How do we decide which way we're going? Like on Friday, the initial pump to resistance, consolidating, dump, then back to resistance. So consolidating after that slow grind up. So consolidating near a support. So I think you kind of have to read the tea leaves a little bit as well and just understand the dynamics, Cole. So consolidating near the support, it's kind of the idea of what do I know that I need to observe somewhere, like in this case, persistent volatility in the face of this kind of support is what we would need to see to continue going lower, right? Like we need that persistent support to meaningfully move into this lower range. And if it gives up at all, if we get any lack of selling and volatility comes out, we know we're likely going to get pushed back up, right? If we're not actually holding down in here and getting stuck under this like 75-60 area, let's say, but more importantly, under 75-20 and 25, right? We're likely to get this lift back up to the top of this range, right? So if that does not happen, if we don't get stuck under here and selling doesn't just persist into the afternoon, the odds of us drifting from the low of this back towards this middle balance are quite high, right? So I'm not sure if that answers your question about like the consolidating at a support, but it's like knowing why it's supportive, you know, like how should it be behaving basically, and are we seeing that behavior? Are we seeing volatility just like not really continue? Are we just getting absorbed and then we just kind of lift back up into that range because there's not enough selling to keep you there? And that's kind of what's happening right now. We've got this volatility, it's kind of spiking, right? We're getting VIX popping, but we're not really falling through the floor or anything. So at this point you would just kind of say, oh, if I was looking at Bookmap, there's a lot of resting orders there, there's a lot of support all the way down into like 75.50 on ES. If we look at where that is, that's kind of in the middle of this range. So in order to really get down there and get some assistance, you have to keep that persistent. You got to get through that floor. You've got to keep that selling going, because the minute that selling goes away and that volatility drops, the balloon is going to float back up, right? If you can't keep the balloon underwater and the water gets turned off, there's only one direction it's going to go. So hopefully that answers your question, Cole. Because today, again, let's see, what's the straddle at? The straddle kind of keeps actually holding its value right now because we're getting this volatility, right? Because we're getting this kind of persistent selling. that volatility is allowing the expansion of the straddle, because the straddle is basically saying, hey, I got to price in a little bit bigger range than I did a few minutes ago, right? As volatility expands, it's basically telling you, oh, I'm pricing in, now the straddle was like 15. Now it's pricing in 20. So now it's starting to price this in lower down here, which means if we get that continued selling and it prices these couple strikes in, now those deltas are active. Now those market makers are having to do something, where for most of the day they didn't have to at all, right? Most of the day these things weren't in the range. They weren't being priced in, so they weren't really influential, but now they are. But that also means we need to kind of see that persistent selling to get stuck into them. Yeah, Zach, this is the intraday positioning. So this is most relevant for anybody new here. This blue line that I have drawn is essentially London close. What does the shape of the positioning look like after the London close? What are the remaining participants in the market betting on into the rest of the day? So before that, the pre-market positioning was kind of more reflective of these three ranges that I had drawn. So the majority of the distribution of the day was kind of centered in this middle range. If you look at the positioning overall, and why I draw these arrows, it's kind of the idea, if you're not over something, you're under it, and where does it kind of compel you down to or up to, right? So as the day goes on, if we know that we're not over any of these strikes up here, what is kind of the balance area between up and down that we might end up pinning against or settling up under or over? So right now, obviously we're kind of down here. So everything you see kind of points you to a balance. So we're under 75.90. It's kind of pointing us to right where we are around the 70 area. If we get stuck kind of under here now, and we continue selling, you can see this shape is kind of saying, well, if you're under here, you're probably going to come down here. And then you look a little lower and you say, well, why there? Why not lower? Well, everything below you for another 100-something points, right, is essentially saying you're probably going to finish right in this area if you're under this, right? If then. So hopefully that makes sense about the system we're using here. And I wouldn't just say system, I'd say it's data. The data that we have access to, the positioning information that we know about, right, is kind of telling you what these ranges are that you should expect price to trade into. You got any trades at the morning session? I kind of scalped a little bit, guys. I don't know if you guys if you pay attention to my Instagram or not. I got moved live with Lucid. And was dabbling with trading with a live account because, once you reach certain targets and things of that nature, you can get paid daily. So it's just like having a personal funded account. So I'm playing around with that a little bit and going from there. But right now, yeah, I'm in my last shorts. I averaged, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh. I averaged in to my my last runners. I had 5 micros left, and I added into them. So my average on the runners took me down to like a 75.90 entry, I guess, or like position, I should say, right now. So I'm in basically 10 micros from 75.90. So I'm up about $1,400 right now, give or take. The ES offset is 47 points coming in on the day. No, just Lucid Live net worth. I've never really, like I said, if you guys are new here, I'm not like a huge prop guy by trade. I primarily trade SPX. But I'm trading futures as part of this Project 365 kind of thing. I've done it before. I have a personal funded anyway through TradeStation, in addition to my options trades there. So trading props and leveraging that as part of this Project 365 experience has been great. I got my last payout on my accounts with Lucid last week, and then I got an email right after I got paid out saying, hey, we're moving you live. So five consecutive payouts over however many days, like a month. And they moved me live right away, so here we are. What's up, TML? Victoria, I saw you snuck in here. Joe Vegs, thanks. Yeah, it's coming along. I mean, I got a lot of stuff I still got to clean up, a lot of painting and all that. But here's where we're kind of watching, guys, for this reaction, right? If you can't sustain and push meaningfully and get stuck under here, are you going to get this kind of drift back into this bit of the range, right? Or like, is this going to happen? Where you're going to find this kind of drift back up from the 75.70 back towards 75.90-ish, right? Which would put you kind of at just under the opening print. But I think you can see, right? The second volatility dissipates, right? VIX tested up near 17 and rejected. You've got some people probably monetizing their puts right now, right? Speaking of. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I just cannot shake it today. I was late getting up, and now I'm late, or now I'm just yawning nonstop, and it's just insane. But again, this is the idea here, is once volatility comes off, if it does not persist, the balloon's going to rise. It's going to try to find the ceiling. It's going to, you can't hold it underwater forever, right? So like, if you know those places and you know those behaviors, so whoever was asking earlier about consolidating at a support and all that stuff, this is what you need to see. Is the volatility persistent? Is it holding true? And this is where you kind of take that, like, that risk to reward idea and say, all right, am I being patient if I missed this short? And I'm going to look to see how it reacts around here. Does it cover and hold this kind of 75, 70, 75 area? If so, I'm going to long back towards this to get to like 90, 95 potentially. Or if it rejects here, I'm going to take, like an entry here at 75, 70. I'm going to give myself a 10-point stop, and I'm going to target the bottom of this range. Both things are valid, but you need to know, like, if you have a lean one way versus the other, what is the thing that validates or invalidates that trade, right? Given the dynamics of what we know. If we know it's going to be harder to get this sell down through here as opposed to any buying at all, or just holding over this spot at all into the afternoon is going to drift you higher, you have to make that business decision. But so far, I would say the fact that we're even testing 17 on VIX is a sign that there is some kind of fear. There is a little concern, and the people holding these positions down here aren't necessarily closing them en masse, right? But if they do, if they start taking profits like they did as we tested into this area, because remember, dealer shorts mean customers are short there, or long in their representation of their trade, right? Like these red bars are basically customer bets of a certain kind. So I'm sure if you looked at this particular strike here at 75.10 on SPX, you would see those are a lot of customers that bought puts on the day, right? So as price moves into that and they close those positions, those are no longer shorts that market makers are going to sell with the momentum any longer. So as those disappear and shorts get covered, you get a natural lift because volatility drops. VIX continuing to drop is just a really easy indicator for, oh, looks like we might pop back up. So if you're long here, you're kind of long on two different dynamics, right? The different dynamics are volatility and then also just like a price action standpoint. Oh, there's more people buying than selling, right? But as far as what you know about the shape of the day, if you're not under something, you're over it. And where does that compel you to, right? This is a balance area. If you're not over these couple of strikes up here, they're going to be pointing you down to this balance. So we could obviously just get dog walked sideways to end the day if you don't have that persistent selling. So right now we're kind of in this wait and see mode. So if you're like me and you're already short from up here about 90, you're kind of hoping this grinds and chops and then goes back down. But if you're not, and you're looking to long, where are you looking to long to? Probably just back up under the opening print would be the safe bet, right? Because again, if you're not over something, you're under it. So this also looks like kind of a range that we're stuck in, right? So here we sit. So let's see here. Is it the last Insta pre-market plan we'll have? Cole asked. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, if you're just joining the stream, I've been trying to work on a few different things to essentially streamline what I do produce and my time, right? Because there's only so much of it. Like I've got 2 young kids. I work full time. This is like a side hustle kind of thing. I'm happy to be here and be a part of it on these streams, right? Like I've got so much time in a day. And then I also trade on my own. And it's really hard to just be consistent with like when I'm putting something out, right? So the people that pay to join the Rake Trades Discord, if they pay attention to my channel, if they join that for me, maybe there's people from the stream who like only joined the channel because they want access to my stuff. For those people, I'm like, I produce for them, right? Like I try to make sure I have it at the Globex Open more often than not. I want to like put a weekly look ahead. I didn't get that done because life gets busy, right? But I want to be consistent. And if I only have one place to be consistent with that kind of stuff I'm producing, it's going to be there. And the idea of like having to record a video and put it to Instagram and YouTube, when I don't really have a big audience there, I just feel like it's just a bit much. So for me, the only thing I'm going to do moving forward on Instagram is probably like end of day reviews, because that's easy, right? And it's kind of at the end of a trading day, and when I get to it, I get to it. And then probably some like trade breakdowns or anything that I find relevant or helpful. But yeah, if you want the pre-market plans, you're going to have to, join the Rake Trades Discord and subscribe to the channel notifications. Otherwise, just, you're here. It's free. And if it's free, then, you get the benefit of hindsight from the pre-market. But most of the value from this stream, from my perspective anyway, is learning a little something just in general about how I trade and market maker dynamics and all that fun stuff. And 2, kind of a forecast for the afternoon about some if-then scenarios to pay attention to. So again, I think we've kind of covered this already, but if you guys are just joining, the benefit of knowing where these positions are held by market makers is also knowing. Just want to make sure I say what's up, Kings. Thanks for joining. I've been seeing you here lately. Thanks for coming back. The benefit of having this positional information at your fingertips is like the probability basis, right? What is more probable than not? What is less probable? So if you want to use that probability and then you add another layer of like if then to make a decision off the back of it, right? Then you're essentially saying, okay, I've got an edge here. I'm already taking like a 50-50 bet that this is or is not going to happen every time I enter a trade, right? 50-50 odds. If you can increase those odds just slightly, 52-48 in your favor, because you know that there's a higher probability of this going up than down from this place, because there is something provably true from a positioning standpoint that can drive the market or influence it. That is a huge edge, right? If you are just going off of a candlestick as a sign of something without understanding like the why behind it, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball, right? So, we got this big sell-off. We're selling. I know you guys have heard me say this before. Some of my best long trades come from longing essentially what I would call like a do or die strike. And I call it a do or die strike because I know that if something were true, if the volatility was real and we were really seeing strong selling, right? We would push into this kind of area here about 75, 55, 60, and it would actually accelerate the selling further. And I should see that become apparent very quickly. And if I'm not seeing that, I know the other thing, the other side of that coin to be true, which is if I don't get volatility expansion here, by default, there's a place it's going to come back to until it meets a kind of pause or resistance area because market makers are long there. So if I took a trade, maybe I'm a scalper. That's a 4R risk to reward trade on a scalp. If I say I think it's going to come back to just maybe the top of this bar, right? That's a 3.5R trade just based on I don't think it moves below here. It's do or die, because if it drops below here, I'll be wrong really fast. There are many days where I see a setup like that and I'll take it because I know that overall there's a couple factors that are helping me there. There's only so much time left in the day. So if we draw our finish line for 3 p.m. today, where is it? Right? We are in a race from this bar to that bar. And every minute that passes, market makers are buying and selling futures based off of where we are and how much time there is to expiration. So based on where we are between here and the finish line, I make some business decisions. I either think we're going to continue to get so much selling that we're going to get shoved to the bottom of this range because we're going to get stuck under this, and stuck under this increases the likelihood we at least go touchdown here. And if we stay under here and we stay under here, we're probably going to pin against this because I know everything below me is positive, which slows down selling because market makers are buying futures, right? I'm making a business decision. Now, if I'm more of a scalper person and I'm just looking for quick trades, this kind of a scalp long, I'm not worrying about that finish line, right? I'm just worrying about range and behavior. And I can risk a very tight risk number here and go long and at least get, 3.5R. That's not bad. 15-point trade. Same thing from this morning. This big wick, this is actually probably a better example of this, guys. We'll kind of get into this here. I'm going to go back. This is the pre-market positioning. So this is more relevant before the blue line. Okay. Why do you think this big sell stopped pretty much where it did? What is true from this morning? The strongest kind of intermediate support on the day was right here, 75.75 to 75.70. Where did that wick stop? And how much did it retrace? That was to be expected. If volatility expands rapidly, market makers that are long these positions, they have to react to that kind of activity. So if it was a rapid pop of volatility and selling, their buying to hedge their position has to be just as outsized. And sometimes that reaction can actually turn into what kickstarts a bigger rally, right? But we essentially got stuck at kind of this long positioning area where, again, if you're not over something, you're under it, it's all working against you, right? So we rejected and we came back down to that support again and held it. And then we bounced and we got rejected. And then we got stuck, and then the positioning changed. And now that the positioning has changed, we're kind of drifting along, following the path, right? Under something to balance. We're at the balance. Until you're under this area, you're stuck here because of this behavior, right? It's passively supporting you. So until you get active pressure to shove you somewhere else, to find a balance, we're just drifting along, right? So right now, base case before our finish line is what? Make a decision. Put your money on the table. You either think we're going to kind of hold these two strikes and drift back up to here, or you think we're eventually going to get enough selling to do this. but it's based on something. Probabilities. I find it more probable that we don't continue to see strong selling and that we just range and chop around a balance here. But if you're the other way, saying, I think people do get more fearful because we've got data this week, we've got OPEX on Friday, the Iran stuff, oil's popping, yields are popping, then you say, I think we do get continued selling and we get some assistance to go lower. There's data to support that. So then you watch and see, is that proving true? And then you can target a specific spot and say, I think once we get there, we're definitely not going out any lower because all that, right? And there's only so much time for that to happen before it works against me. So, oh my God. Hopefully that's a lot of talking, but I just want it to like really settle in and make sense to you guys. You can trade this both ways. You can still have your bias, but you also have to know, based on the data side of it, what do I need to see to confirm or deny that thesis playing out? And increasing the likelihood or the probability that that works for me that way. Right? So like right now, I'm holding a short from 75.90. I'm looking to see if we get the extension down here towards 75.40. I can see on Bookmap, for example, there's kind of orders in both places that are resting, sitting there. There's some people that are sitting higher. There's a lot of support between me and lower, which I think, again, that's like those are just limit orders that could actually accelerate. And I know that market makers, if we get down in here with some volatility, it's going to expand that volatility to a point, right? So that's what I would say about that. Looking to trade station next to yourself. I came from options to futures. Yeah, net worth. I mean, that's what I would do. If you have self-funded, TradeStation is a great place for that. They have good margins. Intraday, and then if you already have an options account, it's just easier to use a platform you're already familiar with. Let's see, sorry if I missed it. Why did you short from 75.90? I shorted twice in the morning but got stopped out both times. Vish, that was a short from higher. It was my runners on MES. I had 5 contracts left, so I averaged in, and that was my new average spot. I was like, I'll just see if we get this dip lower, and if we do, this is a good place to be short from, and that's why. I wasn't originally short from 75.90. I took the short from here. I'm from Ireland. I can safely say everyone was happy when he lost. What did I miss? Were we talking about McGregor? Or who? Who lost? I must have missed something. But yeah, that was kind of a weird deal. I know that a lot of people from Ireland don't love the guy anymore. But, you know, rape and all sorts of things not related to MMA. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Be Creative? Thanks for joining. Disco. Sorry, yeah, if you're late, yep, I'm writing one out, so if it stops me at break even, I don't care. It was runners that I averaged into. Do the levels affect the overnight sessions? I mean, when I trade overnight, I use it as kind of like the backbone of what I'm doing, because I think the fact that those positions are held day over day, like when I look at today's position, I'm looking at it as of the previous day's close. So I was looking at these positions based off of how they were held Friday night, and then I looked again Sunday, right? How much changed? Not much. So if those positions are being held day from one day into the next, where they're held tends to play out in the overnight session as well, but with less influence. I don't know that it is as directly influential because the hedging isn't taking place the way that it is like now. The New York session is always going to rule. with regards to that. Do I wait until the Asian session? Yeah, I wait generally. I'll take a small position from like Globex Open until Asia, but I'm really paying attention to when Asia session actually opens, because you're getting, like, just like with any open, you're getting more volume at that time, you're getting more activity at that time. And then from Asia to London is kind of like, you know, what you pay attention to. And then London obviously is hugely influential. But yeah, New York cash is kind of king for me, especially with regards to this positioning and the behaviors around it and how it's traded. So prior day low target for ES for today, I don't know. Doesn't line up that way. I mean, for me, the target would actually be closer to like 75.40. So that would be in the way, Peter, but that's not a target for me. I don't care. If it's not a positional relationship, I could give two shits about it. But like, you're not going lower without getting through that based on the position angle, right? If you're not under this strike here at 75.10 on SPX, which is like 56, 55-ish, let's call it, you're not getting to my target. So in that regard, perhaps, but it is not like the target for me, if that's what you're asking. So yeah. Anyway, guys, if you are just joining, thank you for being here. My name is Mitch. If you're not familiar with me and you're new here, what I have on my screen is kind of a lot. I know I'm new to Bookmap, but I have it up there just for people who are like order flow junkies. You know, I don't necessarily rely on this as a representation of what I see over here. It's just kind of a confluence thing if you want to do that. So what I look for is how these positions are represented and how market makers have to trade them. Have to, mechanically. So knowing the dynamics and the mechanics behind how these positions are held allows you some insight into like a probability based trading, and if then like deterministic with the probabilities, you know, kind of baked in there, right? So if it is more probable, given the passage of time, that if you are under a particular position and market makers are holding them a particular way, that you can be short from there with more success than long, I will manage my risk accordingly and take that short. And then I know where the opposite would be true, to say it is less likely for me to go any lower than this place unless this thing happens. So if I know what the mechanics are behind that, I know if I should cut, if I should trim, if I should hold some runners or not, right? So for me, I'm short from up here. And then I'm basically saying, if we get under here, I think we can come to here. So when we got here and we kind of got this little rejection of this area, this is where I added into my short runners to say, if we hold under here, I think we're definitely getting down here with an outside shot of going from here all the way down here. If then. So if we get down here, then we, you know, reject it essentially. Then I'm monitoring to see how much does volatility drop. And if we hold this area for too long, then I'll cut, but I'm going to leave it to break even. Because if we're under this strike, we are likely to just stick here, which increases my odds of staying under it further and coming down here. But the longer we are over this particular strike, the less chance we have of going lower, the more chance we have of just going sideways around this range. If, then, unless. The why behind it is understanding the dynamics I talked about. If market makers are short, as time expires and price is not in this range, they are actually going to be more supportive of us staying higher as opposed to helping me go lower. Same thing here. Market makers are long. They're actually buffering, slowing price down from moving either direction. They're selling against me when we go up. They're buying for me when we dip. So if I'm holding here, that means I'm more likely to drift either sideways or with any kind of bidding to the next area where I know they're selling, which is up here. So you could long this and say, I'm going to give myself 10 points and think that we drift back up this way. Nothing wrong with that. But again, I'm already short, so I'm holding for this scenario. If we're under here, then we can accelerate and get down here. But I also know what's working against that thesis, which right now we are consolidating here, which means any bidding and any lack of volatility will give us a natural lift higher. And that's why my stop is break even. What's up, Dougie? Thanks for joining. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So if you are new and I just scared you away, my apologies. I know this seems like a lot, but I think it's like the easiest thing in the world. And it's something that is very observable day after day for understanding what is, more or less likely to happen. But again, for me, coming in on the day, a couple things from the pre-market and the ranges that we drew. If you guys are late, we can kind of go over that and why I didn't necessarily assume up was the guarantee, but it was actually probably the path of least resistance today, at least initially. If this is our pre-market profile, pretty thin to long, but what happens in regimes like this is when you're positive gamma, right? And these were way out of whack with where we were. But based on the opening print, the top of the range was essentially like a gap fill. But I thought because of the thin positioning, you could get up here, but what I was really looking forward to was a test up here to short. And that's why I was kind of like, prove it to me, prove that you can break out of all of this and even get up there. Because to me, everything says you're going to stick into this key balance on the day. I think when I drew my ranges today, it was kind of something like this and this and this, right? So I figured tale of three ranges. You're either breaking out and actually trying to get up and stuck, you're rejecting up here to come back into this balance, and if you're under this, you have the potential to come down here where all of this is supportive. So right now we have worked our way down here. So I think even from a pre-market perspective, right, it's kind of like if we were only looking at the pre-market profile, you're pretty much saying if I'm not over this, I'm probably finding balance here. If I'm not under this, I'm probably finding balance here. So hopefully now you guys understand why, like when I look at the pre-market as like my story for the day, where were most of the bets placed and what is the highest likelihood of something happening or not, this is why I said, prove it to me. It should be easier for you to go higher if you're over this price because it's thin, there's not a lot resisting you. It should be easier for you to do that, but to a point. If you're struggling with it at all, I'm paying attention. I'm going to be looking for shorts. Because if you can't prove it to me that you can get up here, I definitely would have been shorting from up here regardless. Anything in this range, I was shorting because you can see the shape. If you can't hold over that and you're already moving beyond what was kind of the expected move on the day, I'll probably give a little more credence to you eventually drifting back, right? But that's the pre-market. And if you look at just that, if you didn't have any intraday positioning, you could pretty much say the same thing, right? We are effectively under this price, which says you're probably going to stick around here. If you're not under this price, you're probably going to drift back to that place anyway. While also understanding, if I do get under this spot with some volatility, I can at least come down here. And maybe with a little more, I can get down here. But when you know there's a clock that is running out of time, and that if you're not down here, as you get closer to this finish line, it starts working against you, right? Then you're kind of like, well, I don't think I want to be short if we can't even hold under this spot, because I don't think we're going to get down here if we're not under here. So if you only had the pre-market profile as your bets and probabilities, today pretty much is still playing out that same way. I'm not under here, so I'm probably going to stick around here into the afternoon. But if I'm over here into the afternoon, I have kind of an outside shot of just slowly drifting back to this area. I mean, I think it's easy, Randy. If I can boil everything I do down to a very simple framework of if this, then that, unless this, I don't have to really like worry about anything, right? So if something is more likely, if this thing happens, and I can place my bets there and then know exactly what invalidates that or not, it makes my life as a trader really easy. Chilean trader, as far as yeah, this is like market bidding, like volume of like market buying or selling. And then the colored areas are kind of like where resting orders are, like limit orders essentially getting filled or not. So what you look for on Bookmap, at least in my very rudimentary understanding of it, is essentially like you got this big strong selling here, and then this kind of support, like where these limit orders were, like absorbed selling, right? And then you got some strong buying. So then what you'd be looking for is like, okay, this late long here, they sold through and probably ran their stops, but all of this resting order is still held. And now we've just seen this persistent bidding, right? But now you've got all of these resting orders kind of stopping you from going any higher. So if you look at where we are with intraday positioning, market makers and their orders are not really represented here, right? Because they're not taking like little onesie twosies and stuff. So right now, we just know that like market makers are kind of selling against you as we move higher, right? Until you prove that you can break beyond it, which is why I'm sitting in my stuff at break even up here around 75.90. But what a lot of people look for in Bookmap is kind of this idea of like trapped buying and selling. But it is kind of a goofy tool, and I feel like you think you're seeing something in real time, but I don't know how much that's true. Anyway, what you look for is like, okay, where could like shorts potentially get squeezed, right? If there was a lot of selling in this place, but we're moving beyond it, like I even said earlier, you could like way earlier in the day, and I hate scrolling through Bookmap because it takes forever to load appropriately. It's kind of this idea of like, if you can get over 76.05, there's a lot of trapped sellers, right? So you can potentially, that's like rocket fuel, right? Like, oh, they're trapped, they're going to have to capitulate, and we're going to go the other way, we're going to squeeze them. So there's a lot of people that use like volume profile and Bookmap, or there's all these different charting softwares that tell you that same thing, right? Like, oh, there's a bunch of selling right here, so if there's buying over here, because selling slowed down right here, it can squeeze back to this place, right? Most of those people are scalpers. What I like about using the dealer profile is that I already know as we get to this area, it is more or less likely for us to continue selling because of that combination of time, volatility, or the lack of it, right? What is the thing that is already kind of passively happening anyway right here? If you get some active flow to overwhelm that, then you're going to have this reaction to this place. Active flow, active participation in the market, right? That opening hour, for example, opening 2 hours of the day, volume, there's more participation, there's just more happening. So if you know kind of what you would need to see to force the reaction that you know has to occur from a market maker, because we know what their positions are, how big, and what type, you can kind of have that edge of, wow, if they actually buy through here, ooh, shit, we're going to have some wind in our sails. And this is where we're going to go until we know where they are going to resist us, right? So that is what makes it really powerful. So even now, there's not a lot of activity. We're not getting enough activity to overwhelm the passive support. So when I draw these arrows, if you're not under something, you're over it. So that means all of these positions right now below us are passively supporting us. So by default, that means there's not enough active selling to shove us down, just like there's not enough active buying to shove us up and over all of this stuff that is currently weighing us down. Why do we get pinned and sandwiched in a specific place every day? Why do we close in one spot and we don't suddenly move 50 points into the close? There is a reason. If you want to know the why behind the what, use this stuff, right? Keeps you out of bad trades, gets you into good ones, I like to think. BTD, Google, YouTube, this stream. Every day we talk about this stuff. I'm sure if you guys are here, however many of you have seen me before that are still sticking around, listening to me every day, you're probably just like getting drip fed little by little. It's starting to make more and more sense the more you follow the stream. I know a lot of you have signed up for different market maker positioning platforms out there. So if you have those questions, I'm happy to help you. I personally use VS3D, and I love it. I love the guy that runs it. I love the community behind it. I have a lot of confidence in the quality of the product, so that's why I use that one. But there are others, and if you're using those, you are able to do the same thing that I am. It is not a secret. I want to know the Greeks, but the tools are expensive, so for now you can watch. Hey, that's just it. You got to know what you're doing and what your limits are and what your investment into yourself and your trading is going to be. If you're not confident in something giving you an edge, then don't pay for the extra thing. Just master price action. If you want to take the next step to leverage a different thing, then pay for it when you're ready. But until you even have any kind of profitability or consistency in your trading, don't just lump into something unless you are on a path to where you can get that under control. You can have enough knowledge to confidently use the thing you're paying for, right? So, do I actively manage it based on price action or trust the stop loss based on these levels? Everything for me is an if-then, Macy. I am actively managing, but something has to tell me that what I'm observing is changing. So given my positioning up here at 75.90, I'm going to need to see a lot of buying to come and stop me out or break even up here, because I know that everything above me is helping me sell. I know that right now it's pricing me in as selling pressure. So until there's enough active buying to come and get me and prove it, I'm going to just sit in this trade. I don't need to overmanage it. I'm not going to move my stop down here just so I have a stop and profit when I know that technically all that's going to take for me to get even more profit to trim is to sell through these lows to potentially accelerate me down here. So why move my stop here if I know that this is technically the best stop? I'm not going to over analyze something. If I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be wrong where I should be wrong. If that isn't a great answer, let me know. How do I feel about Mentor Q? It's naive gex. I don't feel any particular way about it. Hugario, I don't think it's very valid for me. It's one thing to draw a line on a chart and say, oh, there's a gex level here. But if you don't know what it represents, then it's just a line. If you don't have an expected behavior there beyond, I think I might get a reaction here, how does that help you? What if the reaction is opposite to your bias? So if you just have a line on your chart there that says, oh, Mentor Q says this is a gex level 3, but you don't know that it's actually a bunch of negative positions which will accelerate selling if it gets there, and you're looking at that level going, I'm watching here for longs. If you don't know the risk of that position and why that particular level is important, what is the point of having it there? It's just an arbitrary line in the sand. I might as well just go piss outside and say, oh, if you walk on the other side of that line, you might slip. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's a poor analogy, but I don't love it. Some people can be successful with it because they're just saying something might happen here. You know, something might happen anytime. But to me, there's no edge in that the way that there is if you pay for the actual dealer tagged data, like a VS3D or an options depth or something. So hopefully that explains that one. Do I prefer to watch Bookmap in a certain time frame? Honestly, I'm not like, Bookmap is just whatever, guys. It's interesting in some places. I was actually having fun the other day, like scalping NQ with it, because like you can kind of see like, oh, here they're filling in right here. So if anything rejects, like it's going to probably go here. So like very, very small time frame, like 2 or 3 minis on NQ, scalping like 40 to 60 points. It's kind of fun, right? Like if you go look at NQ right now, it's not anywhere near the same as ES, right? But you can see like, okay, there's not a lot building above. So if we get any selling, there's a lot stacked up here. But if you break 15, you can maybe get down into this range. I don't find this to be like super telling to me. NQ is just way more volatile by default. It was kind of fun to just mess around with on small size, but like I don't think it really tells me anything in particular the way that this does. But again, it's all just confirming what's already happening in a candle. It's just telling you like there was more buying at this particular spot in that candle than not. There's a bunch of resting orders here, but if you just looked at a candle and said like, oh, there's a bunch of resting orders at 80 because it's the top of this like wick area where there's obviously been selling. Okay, is it worth the money? Like, not that I've seen. I'd never need this. I've yet to trade this with this framework over here as a confirmation or denial of what I already know is more or less probable based on how these positions are held. Yeah, TML, I wouldn't say the slip on the sand, but just like, you know, it might be slippery over there, but not on this side of the line where I pissed, that kind of thing. But like I said, poor analogy, but it's just, yeah, I don't really jive with that. If you're going to sell it as a service and just say, hey, I'm telling you there's something here. Okay. There's something everywhere, but like, why is that level more important than this one? If you can't tell me that, then why should I give a shit about it? So, not to shit on MentorQ, I used it at one point and I was like, oh, this is that when I was very first trading with Gamma and understanding it. There are other bits of their tools that I think are more useful, but I don't know that you need anything from them when you can literally just pull up your option chain and point an LLM at it like Claude or something and say, give me the naive gex, give me a put wall and a call wall and a gamma flip and a volatility level, and you can literally get that and not have to pay anybody for it, right? Because that's all they're deriving it from is open interest. BM, no. These are actual dealer tagged position counts. Obviously what I have on my trading view is not real time because I'm copying it from the platform and just pasting it in here. I'm saying like, here's the pre-market level. Here's what it looks like based on, excuse me, based on this snapshot in time. And I just leave it there post London because again, I put more weight in the pre-market profile because those positions are held longer throughout the day. They're hedged more. They're more influential because they're not opening and closing throughout the day. But yes, this is specifically dealer tagged positions, net long or net short. And I convert it based on the spread between SPX and ES, that ARB number, which was like 47 points coming in on the day. So I just adjust my indicator to reflect that. Roadmaps as guides to display the behavior at certain levels as a guide. They added options on futures data, I believe. Listen, Hugh, that might be, but I'm not as familiar with that one, and I prefer VS3D, so I'm just gonna stick with what I'm using successfully. Or would you say the best way to get caught up in learning this is to go back to your first stream and catch up? Any other content? I am not like the authority on this, guys. I use this. I feel quite knowledgeable about it. But if you want more information, options hedging dynamics are all over. It's a math equation, right? There's first, second, and third orders of of these Greeks. How they all interact with one another is something that anybody can figure out. I am just trying to like take what I've learned about it and distill it down into something more easily digestible, to say all of those things are happening. All of them are related to each other. They're all interacting right now to produce an output. But the thing that is the easiest to trade is if we're entering a spot where market makers are longer than they are short, price should slow down. If it's not, it's because there's so much flow that's forcing the opposite reaction, right? Or overwhelming the market maker's influence. So as we move into a much stronger short position and there's a lot of buying, the market maker is going to assist that momentum. So if there's strong momentum and we know that market makers are short, and we get some really strong selling pressure through a strike, this kind of a shape, to me, says we should go very quickly on a strong sell with a lot of volatility to this place. The problem is, I don't know that we have enough active flow to make that happen. So until we do, I think we are going to just gravitate around the dealer long that we know is here, because we also don't have enough active buying to get over this dealer short, which is by default above us, which means it is selling against us. Okay. I don't need to know about Vega and Vanna. I don't need to know about any of that in this moment. I can be aware of them and know that information and how they're all related. But to me, I'm looking at the passage of time, which means decay of options, which means market makers buying or selling just because of time passing. And then I'm also looking at overall, is this a positive gamma environment, which is mean reverting and slows price down, even if we're dropping, right? If I only need to worry about a couple of those Greeks as opposed to the entire spectrum of them and how they all relate, I can just make really basic if-then decisions. And I can know going into the day something is more or less probable and what to look out for and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. But there is a lot of content out there about the Greeks and how they all work and what the relationship is. But if you don't want to have to get into the weeds on the math of it all, and you just want to know, how can I make this actionable for me if I have access to something like a VS3D or spot gamma or options depth or whatever, and you want to add that feather to your cap or put that tool into your toolkit, so to speak. Hopefully, if you go back and watch these streams, I've talked about this enough and how I leverage it to make it simple. And just like, what are the ranges? How would I trade this range? How would I manage my risk if price is here versus there, and so on? Yeah, I think the streams from day one are a great thing to go back and catch up on. If you want my Instagram, you can follow along there and look at some of the pre-market plans that were posted there for free. I did mention too, if you guys are joining late, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. It's just so much time to make sure that I get it out, because then I feel guilty if I don't get it out before the bell. But like, people that pay to be in the Discord and follow my channel there and see that information there, they need to get it first. So the idea that there's only so much time and I've got young kids and like the mornings are busy and school's going to be starting soon, I'm going to focus more on those people. But if you want access to kind of do that, and you don't necessarily want the full stream to be like, oh, I need to go sit through an hour of YouTube, then just check out the Instagram page for now. And then if you want to learn more in a hands-on way with my guidance, I do one-on-one mentoring. So if you want that, there's a link in my Instagram that should take you there. Scan the QR code on stream here and we can work together and figure that out. So yeah. Let's say price action prints a double bottom at 7,500 with a juicy hammer candle. You still hold because of how market makers positioning looks like, or assume you have seen the reversal pattern and get out. Macy, in those instances, what I will generally do is if I'm already short ES and I'm holding my runners in that short position, I'm going to give that room. If I'm looking at that and I'm seeing it and I'm going, this is starting to shape up like there's a reversal and this is probably the best spot to look for one, I will trade NQ or MNQ for that long, because more often than not between the two names, what the structure is on ES gets respected by NQ, right? Because of the weighting of the index and the names in each index and how much they're correlated and shared. So I would take the counter trade on whatever I'm not already in. There are times where I trade both in the same direction, but I like to only be in one more often than not, so I can counter trade it based on the profile with the other name. So in this case, if I wanted to go long, because I'm already short MES, I would go long in NQ. Yeah, but it's, I mean, it's not though, because it's not the same name. So, scratch my question. Yeah, no problem, guys. BM. If you guys have more questions, again, reach out to me. If you don't necessarily want to work together on a mentorship basis, I do answer some general questions through DMs or in my Instagram messages. But there's a few people that have abused that. So it's like I said, there's only so much time. So if you do want to work together and learn more, then, you know, either ask those questions here on stream each day, or you can work with me one-on-one. I got moved live after 5 payouts, so pretty quick. So the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 days of trading. But this is my first live trade. I got the live account this weekend, set it up and finalized it this morning, and now I'm short and we're in profit. So technically I think I can get paid today because I've hit the numbers. So it'll be fun to see how that goes. It's basically like trading a personal funded account, so nothing new, but yeah, a little nerve-wracking, but so far so good. Anyway, guys, Christian is about to kick things off. I'm sorry, I totally lost track of time, and I wasn't going to be on this stream. I had kind of an urgent work thing pop up, but I ended up sticking it out. So yeah, I think Christian, it looks like, is streaming from the airport, which, if you guys are familiar, he has done this once before. So make sure you guys stay tuned for Christian. Obviously, I'm just going to give you really quickly my kind of breakdown going into the end of the day. Again, I think we are kind of at like a really strong balance point on ES here. I think we've kind of covered that already. If you're not under something, you're over it. So I think right now the idea would be, if we get stuck under, I would think it would have to be kind of this 75-55 area. Only then do I think you maybe get pinned lower towards this kind of lower balance. I don't even know if it'll be that low at that point. I think it'll be kind of more like right here. And again, that's on the basis of, if you're not under something, you're over it, and where does that compel you to? And right now it just looks like we're in the middle of a vice grip, and I think it's kind of pointing you, we're in this range essentially. So kind of like a butterfly, right? Like the trade that I was in from earlier on SPX is you don't get paid on the wings, you get paid kind of getting sandwiched in between a certain area. So can we continue to sell? Sure. But we're going to need to see probably VIX continuing to kind of drift higher towards 17 and probably stay there. But yeah, I think as far as upside goes, there could be some air kind of getting let out of the balloon, but I don't know that we would actually go any higher than probably like the opening print or so, maybe kind of this 7,600 area, but time will tell. The straddle is currently 17 points, so all of that volatility that we did get is kind of keeping this straddle decently high, where these kind of light blue lines are. We're at the bottom of the day's expected move, so any lack of selling pressure, any buying that comes in, you can see kind of an easy drift, you know, potentially back up towards that opening print area. So that's what I would be looking for, but I am once again going to dip out of here. Thank you guys for your questions. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and stay tuned for Christian. Hopefully his internet is good at the airport, and he can give you guys a little something into the afternoon that I might not be able to. So that is my plan. I'm sticking to it. Again, I'll do an end of day review on Instagram, but no pre-market plans from there anymore. That is going to live in the Discord exclusively. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see you all later. Bye-bye.
right, testing. All right, got the music up set up. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any background noise. Nope, I think we're good. All right, what up, chat? I'm looking at chat through my phone here today. Lomeli, what up? A Miller, Chris, Randy, Dougie, Victoria, what's up? Yo. Let's go. Appreciate the dedication, my guy, Vish. Adam, my guy. Alex, Lomeli, mate. My guy, Lujic. Need an airport lounge tour. You know, it's crazy. They didn't let me in the lounge. So I'm literally out in this little waiting area. Yeah, I try to come in earlier, but apparently I couldn't check in unless I was 2.5 hours early, or 2.5 hours before my boarding time, and which, yeah, fucking sucked, but it is what it is. And even if I paid, I wasn't able to be let in. Need an airport. Remo, my guy. Where am I off to? I'm headed to New York. Yo. Yeah, it's fucking lame. So I guess in theory I can pop in at 11. So I leave at 1:30. I could pop in at 11, and yeah, I was at line. I was like, might as well just pay. But they were like, no, you can't even get in if you paid. Traveling Las Vegas alone. Yeah, first time opening charts, so let's see what we get today. Letting people trickle in here. Let's see. You guys take anything today? Let's see. Okay, so starting off on the chart, try to ES short. Safe travels, brother. My guy, appreciate it. You got Trump this morning, stopped on ES, entered. Held a short through my open. He puts for the win. Let's see. First time opening charts here. Let's see. Starting off on the monthly. The monthly, we have a gap entry here down below us. That again, I think is the draw. I think once we tap into that level, we would essentially get out of this range. Let's see. Pass a Lucid Pro, calling it a day here. You look so calm and gentle out there in between. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my voice down, I guess. You said so calm and gentle. Yeah, so the monthly, essentially, what I'm looking for is a tap into that gap entry. What's the weekly looking like? Weekly is still in a range. We took out prior bars low last week, and we're trading lower here. Let's see, not much on the weekly other than just range. The daily, let's see, the daily we took out sell side here last week, and we are essentially inverting this gap here currently. What else? Let's hop into the 4 hour here. 4 hour, essentially delivering bearish. We rejected this bearish order block here. Order block this morning. So we'll see how the next 4 hour candle opens here. We do have a let's see, where are we trading, premium or discount? We are trading at discount of the range. Daily, we just inverted this gap. 4 hour, delivering off a bearish order block. What's this level? What is gap. How's the hourly looking? The hourly is, so we inverted a bullish gap here in the morning, right? Traded higher, displaced lower. It seems like we've been kind of ranging all morning, right? The 7 a.m. candle took the London lows and Asia lows, traded higher, failed to go above overnight highs, and now just trading lower. 4 hours. So let's see when the 4-hour candle opens, see what we get. Currently, daily, I'm trying to do create a little game plan here. Daily is still stuck in a range, so I'm not really expecting much from today. Daily, 4-hour. Again, 4-hour rejecting away from a bearish 4-hour order block. The hourly here. Let's see, swing lows here on the hourly. Next level would be the 396 for me. And then would be swing low, and then the 1-hour gap fill here. So these are the levels that I'm kind of looking for. We do have relative equal lows here at the 395 level, which would be the next target here for NQ. Okay, so that should be enough levels for targets to the downside. So yeah, once the next hourly candle closes, we do have a bearish gap here that will be forming. We do have an order block here that will be forming. So this is a general area that I'd be looking for continuation to the downside. 15-minute. 15-minute. Let's see. Do we have divergence here? Remove. How's ES looking? I guess we didn't look at ES here. Yo, what up, goat? Or gat. The boy, J King, range day for sure. Oh, why is it? Let's see, live. Gator. What up, Moby? Let's see. So we do have a divergence up here on ES on the daily 4-hour. Let's see, 4-hour is rejecting the new week opening gap, trading lower. Let's see how the 4-hour closes here. FEG. New setup. No, I'm just at the airport. That's why I'm keeping it a little lower here. I'm trying to not be too loud here. Daily. I'm gonna go get them. Let's see. ES daily. Wow. So yeah, I guess what I'm waiting for now is this hourly candle to close. The new 4-hour opens. We would leave behind a 1-hour fair value up here. All right. We would leave behind this white box here would be a daily invert that hasn't yet closed, but we would trade back into it and potentially see us trade back out. Potential lower high on the hourly. 15-minute. What do we have on the 15-minute here? 15-minute. We'd be sitting right around premium of the range there. Let's see. Wow. Let's see, trying to create a game plan here. First time opening charts. Yeah, gonna wait and see how the 4-hour closes here. If we close towards the upper end of the opening print here, I would be looking for a potential tap of this bearish gap entry here, basically overnight highs or so. So currently waiting to see how this essentially 4-hour candle closes here. As of now, leaning more towards the downside. We have a 15-minute breaker here. We have divergence at overnight highs or no? Lomeli's calm and gentle today. Am I that? Am I that? Let's see. Sorry, chat. Sorry if I'm if it's a little too much ASMR. Daily ES is yeah, the thing today, just like how it has been the last 2 weeks or week and a half, is that ES is slightly more bullish than NQ is, right? So as of today, NQ is below last week's opening print, whereas ES is way above. It's exactly 50 points above the opening print of last week. Daily 4-hour. Four-hour here. So yeah, I'm gonna wait and see this hourly candle close, see if we retest this general area to see continuation lower. How's the weekly looking again? Yeah, there's not much on the weekly other than range, right? There's not range, and then we traded out of the bullish gap entry here last week, which gave us that bullish close. The daily seems to have been, I think if we were bullish, we should have respected this bullish gap here. The 4-hour rejected this bearish order block here, indicating lower prices. There's nothing much to the left, right? Nothing much to the left. That would lead me to believe price wants to trade higher as of now. Again, it all depends on how the 4-hour closes here in the next 15 minutes. And let's see what else. We opened, traded lower. Asia delivery was pretty nice. Who trades Asia here? My ETFs are down 2K today. Sheesh. He's a multimillionaire traveling to one of his favorite destinations while remaining humble. You know he's flying first class. No. Nah, not flying first class. But I do have a lot of travel coming up this month, which I'm excited for, and kind of didn't really I guess I was planning for stream, but I didn't realize how overwhelming it could be, right? If it doesn't set up in New York, I'm leaving. If it doesn't set up in... What do you mean? If it doesn't set up in New York, I'm leaving. Oh, I see what you mean. My private jet, I wish. Not yet, not yet. I have chat on my phone today, which is I don't want to switch back and forth through screen. But I don't know why it lags a little bit. Let me see. You only trade New York? Yeah, same. Yeah, I think New York delivery is goated, right? I think if you're looking to trade a session, I think if you can and you have the time, New York session is the way. New York AM to be exact. How was morning delivery though? Let's see, 6:30. I didn't trade this morning. I didn't even open. This is the first time opening charts with you here with you guys. Traded down lower. Let's see. 6:30, 15-minute, 1 hour. Yeah, I don't know. I think from what I see, I probably would have been bullish bias and maybe remained cash this morning. What was your bias coming in today, chat? What was your guys' bias? Jacob was bullish on ES too. Yeah, it seemed to be let me see. Start new. Yeah, because if you go at 6:30 open, we were delivering from a daily fair value gap here. Daily fair value gap. We had a 4-hour gap that we hadn't yet traded into, and then the hourly was sitting in a bullish gap here at the point of entry. Yeah, I think I would have been bullish bias as well. At least into that 808.75 level. At least. Had I opened screens, right? But I didn't. I was bullish after Asia tanked last night. Trump said I got something for that. My bias was bullish, 2 break-evens. Let's see if 14 delivery for lows. That guy behind you is copying your trade limit. Oh man, they're signal botting or what? It's fun. But yeah, chat. Waiting on price and seeing what we get here. See if we get anything for PM today. Marcus got that. Yeah, it sucks that I wasn't able to go into the lounge. I guess they changed the rules here at SFO. Yeah, it used to be, they used to let me in more than 3 hours before my boarding time sometimes whenever I got here early. And they changed it as of May 1st that you could only get in there 2.5 hours before your boarding time. If you pay or if you go in with your Amex card. Lomeli, good morning. My guy, Norpez. Brother, it's all good. It's dedication enough. Cap, no, I go to the club one. I think it's called the club. The club. It's pretty. I like it. I like the food. I like everything about it. Yo, my girlfriend was at SFO yesterday. She was in San Francisco for the Olivia Dean concert. Sheesh. Olivia Dean. Who's Olivia Dean? Man, I should have set up the let me see. I'm gonna set up a search browser here for chat. Let me see. 1 second, chat. 1 second. Search browser for chat. Let's see. Set up a Google. Let's see. Switch accounts. Manage Google accounts. Got it. Let's see. I'm trying to get a browser set up here for chat. Let's see. Let's leave it at Olivia Dean. Let's see. Add. Screen capture. Screen capture. Let's put browser. Or no, let's put search. Search. Okay. Window capture. Let's do Olivia Dean. Olivia Dean. Where's Olivia Dean chat? Let's see. Let's see. Looking to add a Google Chrome browser here. Olivia Dean. Okay. Bear with me, chat. Bear with me. This is the one thing I forgot. There we go. All right, cool. Olivia Dean. Fire. Yeah, never heard of it. Okay. Oh, never mind. Amex. I have the Capital One. They have a nice lounge. 4 hour looks weak, huh? Yeah, looking for lower prices here on the NQ. You feeling bad about it? Says enough, brother. You're the real MP doing this in front of the normal people. Brother. Yeah. Nah, trust me. If it was up to me, I'd be yelling. But unfortunately, I got a table and there's people right next to me. Yo, Lomeli, I know it's Jake's. He's fire. The music be blasting when you do that. Love the kind of trading, so much glamorous. I call dibs. That. What laptop or system do you trade off of when you're on the road, Lomeli? I have a MacBook Pro. It is Apple M5 Pro, 24 gigs, 16-inch. But yeah, it's pretty good. There's literally, I would argue that it's probably better than my PC. I just have that. I have my chat pulled up on the right here, literally, as we speak, and a mic, which I just have these for the noise cancellation, but it's all I really need. All I need, chat. Do we have a giveaway today or no? Let me see. Let me check to see if we got giveaways today. He's still alive. Let me see. Chat, did Mitch do a giveaway today or no? Giveaways today or... Check. Bet. So I'm assuming no giveaways today. Let's see. Just hit up the man. We'll see what he says. But yeah, it's looking like price is very slow today. Honestly, very rangy. We took out. We go from taking out lows to taking out highs. Coming back low to low day, and still rejecting low of day. We'll see how price wants to continue. One hour. Yeah, more than anything, waiting on this next couple of minutes here. 2 more minutes, just to see how the 4-hour candle opens here. Any updates on my giveaway? Oh yeah, Jake, Okay, they got back to me today, and I will shoot you a message here soon after stream. I'm Lujic. Yeah, so for people wondering, he was having issues because he's in a country where yeah, the whole setup, the back end was giving him issues on, I forgot what exactly, but yeah, I'll get back to you. I got you, brother. Bosnia, there you go. There's how are you gonna read that out loud? Conmobile. Considering going into the lounge here or staying here. What do you guys think, Chad? I have I could technically go in there and it's like a 2-minute walk where it's I can lock myself in a room and start being louder. What do you guys think? Or thug it out here. Walk with the laptop live. Only if you guys don't mind. Just head over with Jehovah's Club down the block from SFO. Go for it. And get some snacks. It's gonna turn into an IRL stream or what? Get comfy, dog. When you trade off stream, do you tend to talk your trading plan out loud? Do you find it? No, I don't do that. I typically kind of write everything out though. However, so I'll create it, not a big game plan, but like I'll type it up. So I guess it's in a way kind of talking it out loud. Start asking questions. That'd be kind of funny. Honestly, if I was watching, I'd want to watch that. RJV. Best warm lemon water in there. Good idea today. Mr. Giovanni. Damn, chat. How do you guys remember that shit? So the new 4-hour candle just opened. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, now I'm debating going now, but once I get in the lounge, I have to still find seating. So all in all, it's gonna from the line to the front register to getting up there's probably gonna take like 20 minutes or so, and that's 20 minutes of non-trading shit, which is yeah, at the airport. LAX Delta Lounge is dope though. All of them. Yeah, lounges are amazing. I am gonna head up there after stream for a bit and eat their food up. I fly a lot for work, and I know what you're saying. Yeah, I'm at SFO. It's not worth moving at the moment. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. San Francisco airport. Getting cooked today? You're getting cooked today or what? Good lounge. Yeah, I like them. I like the food. Food here's good. Let's see, how's ES doing? So this is nice. ES inverted the gap here. Let's see. We have a bullish gap here. see. Can you guys hear me fine like this at this distance? I have the mic a little bit more away. Yeah, it's fine. Perfect, perfect. Where's your coffee, Lomeli? Your girl's traveling with you? Yeah, she's traveling with me. I didn't take anything this morning, given I was driving to the airport, but yeah, even if I did, I'd have like 30-45 minutes, which yeah, it wasn't even worth me showing up. Yeah, I can hear good. Perfect, perfect. So okay, let's see. The 4-hour inverted is bullish gap, right? So let's have an invert here, IFEG. We have a let's see, a bullish 1-hour gap here. We have a that I'm kind of looking to take off of. We have divergence here. Let's see. Yeah, we do have divergence up here. So ES targets would be prior day lows. See. We have just, of course, inverted this 4-hour gap. We have a 4-hour order block here, which I guess we can just do here, 4-hour order block. Next. Four-hour bearish order block, 4-hour bearish invert, or bullish invert. 1-hour fair value gap here. 15-minute. We also have a 15-minute gap. 30-minute gap. We have relative equal highs here on ES, so that's a good area of interest that I'm looking for the downside here. Let's remove this daily. Yeah, so waiting to see if NQ can tap into this fair value gap here for a potential entry. This order block here would be the line in the sand, meaning I wouldn't want us to trade higher for the overall bearish thesis to confirm. Your biceps are big, man. Thank you, brother. Long to the hourly and then back down to the lows. Yeah, essentially what I'm... Wait, long to the hourly and then back down to the lows. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I'm waiting for. We'll see if we get it. Set an alert here. Got nice shorts off the open or off of the second leg. There was this leg down, right? And then there was a first initial sell-off. Let me see. Is the music still playing in the background? Let's see. Yeah, we good. We good. We are good. Yeah, typically when I'm at home, I have the music playing, so it's a little there's more going on, I guess. Let's see. Now your question, the hourly gap is 50 points wide. How do you optimize your entry? The hourly gap is 50 points wide. Is it? It's not 50 points wide. What gap are you talking about? Stockholm. Poor Melly has to be toned down. So funny. Hey, it sucks, honestly. It sucks, but it is what it is, man. Getting it done regardless. Man of the people, my guy. Let's see. So we're pulling back, just not there yet. So I'm still going to be patient and wait for that area of interest to hit before I consider taking anything. We are rejecting that bearish 15-minute gap or order block, but I'm going to wait for that area of interest here. Is it loud? Holy shit, it is loud. Sorry, chat. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Alright, that should be better. He said I'm turned. Let me see. Let me turn it down. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. Oh, I think it's... Yeah, I really don't know why that happened, actually. Everyone up now? Audio switched, audio and music switched volume. I think that's what it is. You can't share shit about what you're saying. Better. All right, that's cool. casually aura farming us with the roller. No, it's not a roller. Best day ever. All right, we'll see. Okay, so yeah, just waiting on new setup. No, I am at the airport, Didi. At the airport waiting for a setup, see if I get anything. But currently just waiting on price. Again, doing a quick little rundown here. Whatever, pretty green. Waiting to see if we get a pullback here in price into that hourly gap entry. If we do so, I'd be interested in taking shorts. A short setup down into levels we have here on price are the 395 on NQ or the 552 on ES. So those would be the targets. For now, literally just waiting on price to see if we can get an entry. Yeah, rough week for PM last week, but let's see if we can make it back this week. Best day ever. YouTube is oh shit, I'm tripping. Got you. There you go. Thank you for that. Had a killer day on a video way above my goal. I'm happy. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Tacos on me. Yeah, I got you. I just closed it up. Let's keep going this way. There you go. I was like, when somebody said that on chat, I was like, how do you name it? I thought this was blocking the whole thing. But how do they know who's behind me? I think the video wants 103, but who knows? Not allowed to trading for my rules in the video. Let's see. Can't remember the last time I looked at. Said in the video once. Oh, you mean 203, right? Yeah, I'm assuming you're saying 203. Yeah, okay. Yeah, technically we're still bullish here on the hourly. We're just getting a pullback. Last week had a nice close on the weekly. Yeah, we'll see how we react off that level. The next level technically would be at the 202 level, prior day lows. We're going on the rake level system. Quick question to MES, what area for a pullback would you wait for? 15-minute FEG and then short, or wait for equilibrium in the 4-hour gap close? Within that area would be around price 7. Let me see, you said 7585. 7585 would be, so in this case, wait, quick question for you. So you're essentially asking about the area of interest, right? Area for a pullback would be to wait for 15-minute FEG and then short, wait. So in this case on ES, I'd be waiting for 2 things essentially, right? On the 4 hour, we inverted this bullish gap, and we rejected the new week opening gap. So we're clearly delivering bearish. We inverted the gap, we traded back into EQ of it, or the middle, and we seem to be rejecting it. So we might not get the entry that we want, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Swing high to low at premium of the ranges up above us. So do I anticipate us trading back up to it? No. Technically, we have a bearish 4 hour order block here sitting at the hourly fair value gap, which is kind of what I was waiting for. Hourly fair value gap here. Technically, there's like a breaker here in this area as well. A breaker here, right? 15-minute fair value gap. And then on the 5-minute, we have relative equal highs sitting here in this area, right? Which, or you can call it a double top. That price can go up, take it, and then trade back lower. So for me, it's for those reasons that I'm looking for price to hit that area. But it's looking like we just traded up higher to the midway point and reject the continued 15-minute order flow. That's what it's looking like. Which is unfortunate, but if we don't get an entry, that's okay. Yeah, what I had conviction on here was the hourly fair value gap, and let's see. Yeah, in the 4 hour bearish order block here, that we were essentially in the same spot, right, on ES. So I'm okay with missing it if it does continue, as that slow trail is not really my favorite, right? If we look at price, how we've been really trading, we opened, traded lower, right? Traded higher, took out the high, just to trade back lower, take out the low, and we took out the low again. We've just kind of been consolidating in this range, right? So I'm not interested in trying to play the low of day break, if that makes sense. I'd rather look to catch a potential lower high into the next level. It's kind of what I'm looking for here. I'm seriously considering paying for futures trading on IBKR. I would like to be able to trade at any time. Yeah, I mean, if it's something you feel like you would benefit from, I don't think it's a bad idea. Any sneak away giveaways from Lomeli? Probably not today. Yeah, if no other host did any, I wouldn't really want to. Oh wait, actually, I think we do have a giveaway. Yes, we do. We have a giveaway today, chat. This got confirmed. We do have an account giveaway, chat. And I think what we'll do is we'll select someone from chat that has been a loyal viewer, and we will run it that way. You guys will spam chat, and I will go ahead and select somebody that I see has been consistently on chat. Let's go. Fuck yeah. A little sneaky giveaway or what, chat? Bang, 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 ski, ski. Yeah, it seems like chat woke up, man. Yeah, run the license, man. What are we at? We are at, once we get it to, let's say 200, we will go ahead and run it. trading from airport today. Yo, Kevin, my guy. I won't tell Jake. Like stream guys, Trump tweet Twitter. Got to step away to touch grass. No intentions on trading this afternoon. Wanted to just stop by and say what's up. Safe travels, my G. My guy, Blambo. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you tons, my guy. Is this a Streamlabs giveaway or picking winner giveaway? Giovanni. Why are you calling me Giovanni for, man? That's fucking funny. I don't think I should have added my middle name like that. I just thought it'd go over people's heads, but people actually remember. Changed my name to Geo Trade Zone. I'm thinking of doing the just picking a winner, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Pick me. Let's see. How's gold doing? Gold is fucking dumping, right? Yeah, gold is dumping. I never trade gold, but gold is looking good. Got a 15-minute order block. We have an hourly fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap. Oh, you wait. Yeah, gold is looking good at the downside. Meanwhile, NQ not doing jack shit. Yeah, I'm gonna give this till another 30 minutes to see if we pull back, but if we're continuously hovering at this lower end of the range, I don't think we'll get much from today's PM. Just pick good reverse psychology. I said, are you in class? I'm in a lecture right now. Chat. No, I'm in yeah, I'm at the airport right now, heading to New York. What's PLH? Potential lower high. What's your ideal risk reward? It's typically 1.5. That's like my average, 1.5 to 2.5. I take full exits. For the most part, I try to be in and out fully without moving to break even. Without or I take that back. I do move to break even, but it just depends on the session, and on the day and on the time. But for the most part, I would say like 90% of my trades are just in and out one time, and 1.5 to 2.5 on average. And that's not just a arbitrary number. It's based off price and what my entries usually give me. Never mind, just for the you guys can. Is it loud on the back end or no? No, actually, I don't think you guys could hear it. Bro, are you trading on a potato today? What do you mean on a potato? What does that mean, bro? What the fuck? if you're using arbitrary numbers for entries, partials, exit, and you're betting, just go to casino and pull it all on black. Yeah, I think at that point, I've never been a big fan of that, which when I hear traders say, like, lock it in at 1-1 or lock it at 2-1, right? Because at that point, you're not really trading price, right? You're trading a subjective number based off of what P&L is giving you, right? It's pretty good on my end, brother. Or it's pretty... It's broad, no, it's pretty good on my end. I'm literally watching the stream here. And it's pretty high quality. Yeah, it should be good. If anything, my guy, get a new phone. Get 200 likes already, my boy. Let's see. Holy shit, we're actually at 300 likes. What the fuck? Damn. Matter of fact, we're at 295. We're at 294. As soon as we get to 300, we'll run it. Hey, you guys are amazing. Actually, we were sitting at 60 when I said that. Take me, Lomeli. We'll see. We'll see who we pick. But so far, not really liking anything from price here, chat. Like I mentioned, I wanted to see a pullback into the hourly gap entry, which would also be a pullback into that hourly gap entry. It looked better on ES, to be honest. 4-hour order block, 15-minute relative equal highs, 15-minute fair value gap, and 5-minute relative equal highs. But if we don't get that, then I'm not looking to partake in anything today. Going to be looking to be a lot more patient this week than I was last week. Last week I tried to catch counter trend trades. I try to catch it all, right, every day for the sake of taking something. So this week the goal and objective for stream is to just be selective, and that if that means that I only take 2 trades for the week, that's fine. If that means I take 5 trades for the week, then that's fine as well, right? Yeah, GC was pretty interesting, chat, honestly. If I'm being honest. GC was interesting. I've been delivering pretty bearish throughout the whole session. Clean, perfect delivery. From the moment we opened, traded into this bearish gap, right? Bearish order block sitting there as well. Delivered lower, now trading back up into a bearish gap, which again, we have a bearish order block here, and these relative equal highs here as well. Yeah, I'm not going to trade gold, but it does look good for those looking to trade it to the downside. Again, if you're trading this, I don't think it's really high positive conditions given how we're delivering, right? If we look at strictly the 5-minute, it's just overlapping action that is not really directional, right? What you want to be kind of looking for is more of this type of action that we had through Asia, right? We invert a bullish gap and we just start creating lower lows and lower highs. And we have a clean direction, price is fluid, and versus here even through New York, right? We traded higher, but even when we did, it wasn't fluid, it wasn't with speed, it wasn't delivering well, right? And yeah, currently where we are at low of day. We've been rejecting low of day multiple times today, and we are essentially ranging. So there's not really much that you're missing from by just staying on the sidelines. Audio's bad, is it? Is the audio bad? Testing. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, audio's perfect. Man, chat just wants to fuck with me, man. Melly, need your help, brother. Can make money, but have an issue losing it. I know it's subjective, but say you're running a 50K account, what amount is good to finish with for the day? I think that's the wrong mentality. I think the overall, you should flip that. Be like, how much am I willing to lose on that account? And I think it's either whatever, 500 bucks, maybe it's 400 bucks, maybe it's 1,000. Who knows, right? Everyone's different, but focus on how much you're willing to be down on that account, and whatever you're up. I don't think it should be a goal, right? Necessarily. I think you should focus on how many trades you're taking, when's your cutoff time, right? Having those be the answers you're questioning, because you're controlling the controllables, right? And from there on forward, it's a matter of letting the market do its thing. We did. Yeah, we're at 307 likes, chat. So it's looking like we are gonna run the giveaway here now. It's always you versus you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sorry if the mic's in my face, but sounds good. Can be up 500 or 1,000 a day, but can't keep it. I think that's a trading number issue, SG. It's not a P&L issue, or it's not any other issue, right? It's the fact that you can't walk away, right? So have that be, how many trades, let me ask you this, how many trades are you taking, SG, to make that 500 to 1,000 on average on a winning day? If you're up on the first trade, are you walking away, SG? That question is for you, SG. If you're up on a trade, are you walking away on any given day? And if you don't answer that now, it's okay. I'll go ahead and probably answer it for you. I think for most people, if you take a winning trade, right, and you're up 500 or 1,000, let's see, if you row around 3 to 5, the first trade can be maybe that 50 points, but not walking away, need them. Okay, so if that's the case, limit yourself to how many trades, review and see what out of those 3 to 5 trades a day, maybe only 2 or maybe 1 of them are really high quality. So maybe I would say keep yourself to max 2 trades a day and track that and have that be a metric that you try to get better at, right? Like say Monday through Friday, the goal for next week or the goal for this week is take 2 trades max a day, right? And that's your overall objective. The brain can't really process having multiple objectives, I think. So having one main objective for the week should be the goal for everyone, right? For you, that might be taking no more than 2 trades a day. And then at the end of the week, come back and figure out if that change actually helped, right? Did that change actually move you forward? Did that change actually move the needle? If not, back to the drawing board. But it's through trial and error of your own, impulses, right? That, make you a better trader, right? I would argue that you're not taking 5 high quality trades a day, especially if they're all within one session. I would say maybe 1 or 2 max and close it out, right? So from there, P&L doesn't really matter, right? Whether you're at 500 or 1,000, what matters is staying true to your max trade amounts or max trade number for the day or for the session. Bro, don't trade like me. I've spent 10,000 hours staring at stupid, bro. It's a 2-loss trade walk away. Having this one probably help you a lot, SG. Yeah, exactly. And through what I consider like tough stages for me, where I kind of struggle on the charts, I revert back to only 1 trade a day, right? 1 trade a day, close it. Green or red, close it up. Lomeli, I live in the hood and there's a butt naked crackhead out front riding on the street screaming, "This is why trading has to work." My God. A little random. I personally said it, be more picky with your trades. Yeah, 1,000%. having trouble implementing that. You think me as a trader needs a lockout? Sounds like an addiction. No, I think that you're thinking about trading in the wrong way. Right? Trading is not a game. Like, the money is the byproduct of doing literally what I'm telling you, right? Which is setting rules based off of what your impulses are. And it's not until you're able to kind of look at it that way that trading begins to change, because in the meantime, you're going to be consumed. Like you're saying, you're addicted to trying to make money, but the action of trying to make money is a completely wrong way to approach trading. Trading is a focus on the controllables, right? And the controllables in this case are stick to 2 trades a day. Maybe your cutoff time is first hour and a half of market open, right? Control the controllables. And I think that if you can start there, the money then starts to change in your favor, in your direction, right? But I think that if you really, really need a lockout, set it, right? Set the lockout at 2 trades. I don't know if brokers let you do that, but if they do let you do that to control how many trades you take, I'd say do it. Or maybe it's because I would, this is another thing, like setting a max loss. Like I used to set a max loss for the day, right? But then I would still continue getting to that max loss. So the max loss is there to protect your worst case scenario, right? And I would notice myself getting to that worst case scenario consistently because I was forcing trades. So my issue was never the max loss, right? My issue was taking more trades than I shouldn't be taking. And through that would get to my max loss, right? So if you're constantly hitting max loss on the day, it's another issue because you're slowly just bleeding yourself out day by day. So I think the real core issue there would, for most people, would be just taking higher quality setups. Well, Miller, my guy, how's your trip? I haven't yet left. My flight boards at, I believe, 12:30. So I might have to hop off here like 15 or so minutes earlier. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do a giveaway here. You guys will spam chat. You guys will spam chat, and I will select a random name. Let me see your phone, so I can record it. Let's go. I'm gonna record this for 1 second. Chat. Keep on going. Keep on going, chat. Let's see. All right, running a stream from the airport today, getting a account, or let's see, looking for a loyal viewer here. Let's go ahead and do the Boy J King. The Boy J King. Have you won before, brother? The Boy J King, have you won before, brother? The Boy J King. Have you won before, brother? Let's see. The Boy J King. Let's see. Have you replied, brother, or no? Okay, cool. Yeah, I recognize your name from last week. Last week, he, in theory, won the giveaway, but I ended up not. It was when I told Chad to select or not select a name, to guess my middle name. And I ended up going with Streamlabs afterwards, and I went back, and he was, in fact, the first person who won. So as soon as I saw his name, figured I owe him. So DM me on Instagram, brother, at I think you have my Instagram, right? Lomeli. I am at Lomeli Trades. And then if you guys do click on that name, Lomeli Trades, that I just put on chat, I do have a video that I posted probably like 2-3 weeks ago, which I plan on posting more on YouTube, chat. So that's the overall objective. So I'd highly appreciate if you guys go and subscribe. No, it was a spam comp, but when I saw his name, I remembered. So it is a spam comp. It's me looking. This is, we talked it over, right? Between all the host members, and I believe right as of now, we each have say as to how we do it, but it only makes sense to give accounts away, or not only, it makes more sense to give accounts away to those who have who are consistent on chat, right? You said boo. But yeah, we'll go back and forth and we'll go back and forth. We'll do Streamlabs some days, and then other days we'll do chat. So, I mean, it honestly, quite honestly, would benefit chat if you have been consistent. And most times it's just if I see a name that I've seen that day on chat, or maybe I remember, and I'm going with that one wherever I stop. Just sent a DM. Got you, brother. I'll get back to it here in about 15 or so minutes, and I'll get you a code right before my flight leaves. So congrats to the boy J King. As far as price goes, chat, if I'm keeping it 100, I'm usually on mornings and late nights. Yeah, and that's why we, yeah, honestly, that's what I anticipate most viewers watching, right? Most are on for New York, and that's okay, which is why I go back and forth. Yes, I'm at the airport right now. Tucked away in the corner here. Yeah. Yeah, not getting much from price here, chat, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I guess we'll switch this to 300, given we did get 300 likes. Showing up every day pays off. Rolly and Jake said every morning since I live in Florida. The boy J King, yeah, absolutely. And not even just for the accounts, just in general for, you know, overall. I would argue that this is one of the better channels to actually learn from. Yeah, we already ran it, bro. So we are 314, so let me just take that off, actually. Backseat. All the other channels are really dissing this one every chance they get. Who's been speaking about this channel? Give me a name so I can go watch them. Some other YouTube traders are so cringe. They're from the 90s with loud music, loud sounds, and bravado. Yeah, whatever it is, it's such a big industry that I feel like everyone can get a piece of the pie. It's just I've been part of bull bear traders for 7 years. Never once have they dissed anyone. They just want to. At least one day I'll pop on elsewhere than someone that you like you can have. Yeah, it seems like more and more people are doing the streaming thing, right? Or maybe am I wrong? I'm here because you're cool as a fan. My guy, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Yeah, and if I wish I was looking to take anything here, but since stream started, this has been the action. Right, so I guess it's good given I'm at the airport, but also not good given I'm literally not looking to take anything in this range. Oh yeah, I'm flying. Yeah, okay, 5. Vince, hell yeah, we'll probably be there at the same time. If we bump heads, just say what's up. How crazy would that be, right? Have a safe flight, brother. See you all tomorrow. My guy, appreciate you, Chris. I'm on here late, but did you catch anything in the AM session, my guy? No, I didn't show up for AM session. I was driving to the airport. Yeah, I came early anticipating that I could get into the lounge earlier, like I always do, but they didn't let me in. They said I was supposed to be there no more than 2.5 hours earlier. And I was there 3.5 hours earlier. I'll pick you up at the airport. Man, thank you, but stranger danger, bro. Nah, I'm playing, all jokes. No, I think I got our ride set up already. Currently in San Francisco, heading to New York. Yeah, they just changed the rules, I guess, as of May. Which last time I streamed through the airport, they let me do that, but today, I guess. It also, I think it depends on the person that's helping you, no lie. Is your girl? Yeah, honestly, kind of. Aaron, she's over here to the right of me talking about, let's go to the lounge, I'm hungry. So I might end stream here if we don't get a pullback here in the next 15 minutes or so. I might end it into the 1.5 hour mark just for today. Figured mine would be 2. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone know any good food spots in New York? My guy, Jake. We're literally just talking about New York, brother. Love you, dude. This man grind from the airport. My guy, yeah. Yeah, this is literally the only way I was able to stream today, because if I left earlier, I would miss stream, and if I left later, I would just be in New York too late, right? As it is, I'm gonna arrive at 10 p.m. So if I leave after stream, I would be there, what was it, 2, 3 a.m., which was kind of a little too late for my liking. So this is the only way it would work out, and I made it work. Any sort of food, I guess. Any good spots. Malatesa, West Village, let's see. Appreciate you, bro. Seriously, my guy, appreciate you, brother. As I have you on, Jake, any good food spots in New York I should check out? Someone said Island Vista. that a restaurant? West Village. Okay, fire looks Italian, right? Feel free to give away 2 times today because fire. You guys hear that, chat? 2 account giveaways today, brother. Shout out Jake. W Jake in the chat. W Jake in the chat. We have another account giveaway. Oh shit. There you go. Not no more. W Jake, let's fucking go. My guy, Jake. Appreciate you, brother. The man of the people. Fuck yeah. I don't know when I texted him today. I'm hoping he'd answer. I don't know why I was thinking it was like the middle of the night for him. Yeah, I guess this time, man, I don't even have Streamlabs set up here. Let me see. Oh, actually, not here. Let's see. Streamlabs. We'll run it through Streamlabs. That way we get one of each. Log in. You know what? It's gonna make me do this whole thing again. We'll do it the old-fashioned way again, chat. We'll do you guys will spam chat and I will select a random name. This time will be random. I'll just go through the list and select a random name for the second giveaway. Or actually, you know what? Bear with me 1 second. Let me... One second, as we are doing another giveaway here. One second. Getting Streamlabs set up. Let me see if I can set it up here in the next minute. We'll run it through Streamlabs. Yeah, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way because yeah. So let's see. Live. No, it's because I'm trying to log into Streamlabs. I have I'm on my travel setup, but yeah, it's making me go through the whole process of logging in, and Jake has to send me a code, and I don't really want to do that here on stream now. So let's do that. You guys will spam chat. We'll do another giveaway here. Spam chat, do W Jake. How about that? Spam W Jake, and we will run one more giveaway. W Jake. There you go. Just spam W Jake and I'll select a random name. There you go. Guess I'll look away and I'll stop at in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vandrew V Rose. Vandrew V Rose. Vandrew V Rose. Have you won before, brother? Andrew V. Rose, have you won before, my guy? Lucky next time. I have not. Okay, fire. Again, DM me on Instagram and I'll get you a code here right after stream at Lomeli Trades here. Yeah, I got you, my guy. So 2 account giveaways today. Shout out Jake for that. Tuning in and giving me the go on the second account. So fire Vandrew Rose. Yeah, it's looking like we're not really going anywhere here. I'm gonna stay on for another. If we're consistently in this range again for the next 10 or so minutes, I'll probably hop off early and just go get a quick meal, and then before my playing boards. Gold looking nice. GC. Chat, don't tap me on this, man. Gold is looking nice. We have we are in a bearish or fair value gap here. We just tapped the 15-minute order block. Is it premium of the range? In premium of the range. Man, gold does look good, chat. I'm not gonna lie. Have a bullish gap here. Man, gold looks tempting, but yeah, the next level is not till the 973, so we have room. Man, let's see. Keep in mind, chat, I never trade gold. The one time I traded gold on stream, it took me out right away. Don't short gold. No, I'm not shorting it, but it is looking amazing. Right, we have a clean delivery through Asia and London. We have the 4-hour gap fill down below us. We have clean levels down below us. An hourly bearish fair value gap. We have a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Or sorry, yeah, in premium bearish order block. 30-minute fair value gap. I was just kind of watching it, given that NQ isn't really doing anything. Yeah, NQ's not doing shit. Yeah, another one of those little range. This has been the price action we've been having the last 2 weeks, chat. Right? Through PM session. This has been the action we've been having, which is no bueno. I want to see 546 reclaim back to 677. Friday lows. Tonight Tokyo gonna fly us. Yeah, we'll see. Currently, as we're looking though, I am again leaning more bearish than I am bullish. So if we do get a pullback to that area, I would be looking for shorts. Probably if I do take anything, it'd just be to the low of day, which would be, we did get divergence here though. Let's see. Hour looks bullish. The 4 hour looks bullish to you? 4 hour looks... The only thing I'd say that's bullish about this is that we are at discount of the range. Other than that, it's pretty... We are delivering bearish on every time frame. Oh. Yeah, price is looking like it's going to do this throughout the whole session, and I'm not really interested in looking at this if this is all we're doing. If the next 5-minute bar closes back in the range, I'm calling it a day early and going to get some food. Yeah, there's not really much I can do here, chat, honestly. This action is not really favorable here. Got a nice long and short today. Fire. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I think that today was the day to do so, right? Which is trade the range extremes. Low, take out the low, coming back up to the high, back to the lows. And it seems like we're currently at the lows, and if we continue the same day's profile, we get some sort of reaction, right? Let's see. Yeah, this is, I think, so we're currently an hour and 40 minutes into stream. I think what I am going to do is probably just log off here a little bit early and go get some food before my flight. But yeah, if we continue staying in this range or even trade lower, I'm not interested. I wanted to see a pullback into that early in PM to catch a short, ideally before 12:30. But it seems like we're not going to get that, so I'm not really interested. Again, there's really not much I can do, right? Since stream started, this has been the action, right? That's, if you tell me that's highly probable conditions and you've been taking stuff in that range, I'd be like, okay, buddy. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut it out here soon. Not unfortunately, I would stay if price was interesting, but I am freaking hungry. I haven't ate anything today, so I think I'm gonna go get some food. And for the giveaway winners, if I don't get back to you here in the next hour or so, just bear with me. I'll get back to you guys on the plane. So I will get back to you guys today for sure. Just if I don't have time after breakfast, then having a great and safe trip. If the probability got lets us run into each other, I'll say hi, brother. My guy, I appreciate you, brother. If it does happen, that'd be crazy. Yeah, safe travels to you, Vince, as well. And yeah, I think that's it for me, chat. I'm gonna hop off here a little early and My girlfriend was like, say less. Man. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off here a little bit early, like I said, and yeah, not really much that I feel like is highly probable in this condition. And if you're looking at charts, I would say just hop off. Really, there's really nothing much to look at here for today. Love the commitment. G streaming from the airport is boss stuff. Have a good trip, brother. My guy, appreciate you. Much fun in New York. Have a good time. My guy, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys tons, and shout out Jake for allowing 2 giveaways today. But yeah, that's it for me. See you guys later. Deuces.